So today we're going to be talking about the patient association tab and how to reach that window that's showing in front of you, as well as what's the purpose of using the association tab, along with how to use each and every field to fulfill your billing purposes. So in order for you to be able to reach to the associations tab, you would need to click on lists and then patients, the patient's window pops up, and then all you need to do is just click on the associations tab. The purpose of the association tab is that it allows you to specify the patient's various associations, which includes employers, providers, facilities, referring physicians, referring patients, as well as attorneys. So in order for us to be able to use the below fields, I would need to explain the purpose of each and every one of them. So for employer, it's going to be used if you would like to add an employer to the patient's profile. It's not going to reflect on the CMS 1500 form, and you've got different ways in order for you to be able to do that. If the employer is already added, you can go ahead and click on the lookup window and then choose the employer over here. If not, you're going to go add it from the addresses quick add for you to be able to add the details of the employer or the attorney. And then once you fill in the information and then click OK, it's going to automatically show up in the address window. And then you can go ahead and choose it and then click on OK for it to reflect over here. You've got another way to do it is that you can click on the ellipsis window over here. And you can add the details of the employer. But the only thing that's going to happen is that once you add it from this button, it's not going to show up under the addresses. So it's just going to be a single add-on. If you want to keep it on the records, you would need to click on the lookup window and add it over here. Moving forward, it's going to be the providers field. You would need to select the provider by clicking the lookup window. And you can add it as a quick add from here, or you can go ahead and add it from the providers under lists. And for the facilities, you can go ahead and add the facility by clicking on the lookup window. Choose the facility where the service has been rendered, and this one does show on the CMS 1500, as well as you can add it as a quick add from here. Add the details of the facility, click OK for it to deflect, and then you can go ahead and choose it. For the referring physician, you can go ahead and select the referring physician by choosing also the lookup window. Then the referring physician, it's already added over here. And you can go ahead and add it from the quick lookup as well, add the details of the referring provider. Or you can go ahead and choose lists and add it from this tab over here. The referring patient is another patient in the practice that's already set up and is referring the provider to this patient. Should be already added on your patient's list, and you're going to go ahead and choose the lookup window to look up that patient and add it. For the attorney, you can select an attorney by clicking the lookup window, and the attorneys are already set up in the address window, which is over here. You can go ahead and add the details of the attorney as well, and make sure to choose the type as attorney. For the supervising physician, whenever there is a physician rendering the service, usually it's being supervised by another physician, and you may need to add that supervising physician's information on the claim when sending out electronic claims. If that provider's details are not added already, you can go ahead and add them from the referring physicians. So for the supervising physician, it usually pulls up the information as well from the referring physician's details. You can go ahead and choose that supervising physician and click OK for it to be able to reflect over here. For the outside primary care provider, if the primary care provider is someone that's outside of your practice, you can go ahead and select that option and click on the lookup button. If the provider is not already entered in the program, it also auto-populates from the referring physician, so you can go ahead and add that outside primary care provider to that referring physician's details. The last date seen by the PCP, you can enter the last time the PCP or the primary care provider was able to see that patient over here. Is just for your internal records, as well as the referral date. For the billing status code, from this list, you can go ahead and select the billing status code that's going to be assigned by default the patient, which means whenever you create a new billing, that billing status code is going to reflect on that same claim. Once you add a new billing, you can go ahead and keep that default status code, or you can add a new one or delete it or edit it. So basically, this field displays billing status code that's being assigned to the patient when creating the profile itself. And you can go ahead and click on the magnifying glass to be able to choose whatever billing status codes that you want to use, or you can add extra ones by the quick add option over here. You can add that code and then the description that explains the current status of the patient. And there's just one add-on over here for the referral date. If the patient is being referred to the provider, you can go ahead and enter that referral date, and usually this date would actually show up on the 837 files, which is the ANSI format.
Don't compromise. Go microwise.